Today I'm going to tell you about business moats, a very important concept for all business people, especially entrepreneurs. Basically, a moat is a barrier to entry. It protects your company's position and your crown jewels. It's not unassailable, but it's going to take some effort to get through. And every day when I lived in my first part of my career in Japan, I lived in Tokyo, I used to drive by the Imperial Palace, and there's a moat, and you see it, and it's impressive. And it is psychologically a barrier as much as it is a physical barrier. It makes sure that you know you're not going to just rock up there and say hello to the emperor. It's going to cost you some time and some effort. Similar to Beijing and its Forbidden City, there's a very big moat around it as well, if you didn't know. So there are 8 types of business moats. Now, Warren Buffett says he only invested in companies that have moats. He invested in Coca-Cola. They have brand. They have economies of scale. They have lots of things. But those are for big companies. There's actually only 4 types of business moats that are available to startups. And I'm going to talk about them today. First 2 are network effect and switching costs. And the reason I'm going to bundle them together here is because they're very much related. Network effect means basically the more people using the product, the more valuable the product is. Switching cost is about how hard or easy it is to switch from one product to another. So if you're giving an effect, obviously LinkedIn was kind of not really useful until everybody in the world started using it, so it took a long time to get the critical mass it has today. That's a network effect. Facebook obviously had a network effect as well, but there's also a switching cost because if all of your friends are on Facebook, and you want to use Snapchat because of the functionality, you know, it's going to be pretty lonely there until everyone else goes to Snapchat. So same if you've ever switched from an Android to an iOS phone or vice versa. These kind of things are real moats. It's often better to explain what something is by saying what it is not. So something like gold has no network effect. You can imagine the more gold people have, the less gold is worth, and that goes for rare things and collectibles and arts and so forth. So no network effect there. And if you've ever been to a U.S. supermarket, you've seen these aisles where it's full of different brands of toilet paper. These have no switching cost, and so this is the concept of switching cost. It doesn't cost you anything to be disloyal to your particular brand of toilet paper. A very important these days, with the advent of AI, moat is process power, and it's an advantage that you get from a proprietary process, a way of doing things, or technology, or both. And you know, one of the original people who made the companies that made this really famous was Toyota, and their way of manufacturing and how they continuously refine things with their Kaizen process. They actually opened it up and let every company in the car company in the world come visit them and learn. They were confident that no one else could do it as well as they could. They had an execution advantage in their mind. With content matching, with ByteDance, you know, Facebook's trying to catch up with them. Everyone's trying to catch up with them. They have a very unique algorithm and an AI prowess there. Same with Google. You know, it's best of breed search. So, but if you hear this concept called best practices, like we use the best industry practices, then you know that that company has no process power, because that means they're trying to do everything the same way the other leaders in the industry are doing it, and they don't have their own process. Okay, and that goes for Bing in search, or Facebook in video, like versus TikTok, and all the automakers besides Toyota. The fourth, and very much in the spotlight today, is what we call counter positioning. And it's doing things that competitors cannot do or will not do. So NASA, because it has a government charter and a way of procurement, they cannot do things as quickly and as fast as inexpensively as a startup with a vision can, like SpaceX. So that is this is a real popular way for the David and Goliath situations to happen. So work on your moat before your castle, If you're an entrepreneur, don't think about your product only, think about your moat. Work on the 4 that you can control. And if you want more information, read my book. Thanks.